Hi guys, today I'm going to be doing a Marvel villain tier list video. It doesn't have all the villains in because people like Mysterio from Spider-Man Far From Home aren't in it because this tier list was made quite a while ago. Anyway, let's jump right into it. So Dormammu, he was at the end of Doctor Strange. He was barely in it, so I'm going to put him as an E. If he was in it the whole way through, I probably would have put him around the base because he could have been a really good villain. And if he was in power, straight up S, he's probably one of the strongest, if not the strongest villain in the MCU. Anyway, I'll put him as an E then. Ghost from Ant-Man the Wasp. She was okay, I guess. She wasn't like a fully bad villain. Like people like, let's say, Yellow Jacket and Ronin, they're just generally bad. But Ghost wasn't actually that bad of a villain. She was a little bit more evil than Loki, I would say. Actually, I don't know, actually. I would say she's like a Loki type evil villain. But obviously not as good as Loki. I think she was an alright villain. So yeah, I'll put her as a D, I guess. Ego. Now, I know I'm going to get a lot of hate comments from this, but Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 was my favourite Marvel film. I know, loads of people hate it. I don't know why I love the film. So, since he was the main villain and he was Star-Lord's father, who I like, Star-Lord's one of my favourite characters. And, he's a living planet. And he's really powerful. He's a Celestial. He was interesting. I think I have to put him as an A. So yeah. Hela from Thor Ragnarok. Okay. She is really powerful. Stronger than Thor. But I would probably say Thor from Infinity War would beat her. But Thor from Thor Ragnarok definitely wouldn't. She was a good villain. She was a really good villain. I'm going to go put her as an A. The reason is she's quite intimidating, but she's threatening at the same time. So yeah, Ironmonger. I wasn't a big fan of the Iron Man film, if I'm going to be honest with you. So, I mean, he was okay, I guess. He was a pretty decent villain for the first MCU film. I would say anywhere between a D and an E. I'm going to put him as a D. Because I can hear some of you screaming, saying he's a really good villain. But you have your opinions, I have my opinions, I guess. Okay, straight up F. He's a terrible villain. I don't even have to explain why. He just literally does nothing. He barely speaks. He barely does anything. Killmonger. Now I know loads of people love this villain. Absolutely love them. Some of the people, when they do tier lists, they put him as like an S tier and saying that he is their favourite villain. But I don't think he is my favourite villain. He was a good villain. But it's just like, you know, Alexander Pierce. He is also human, just like Killmonger. He's not as skilled as fighting, but he's more intelligent. He has more men, because since he works at Hydra. So, in my opinion, he's a better villain than Killmonger. So, he did kill Snake, and I liked Snake. Oh, is his name Snake? No, I think it's Scar. So, I'm going to put him as a C, because he was a good villain, but he wasn't my favourite one. Loki, straight up S. You can't argue with that. I wouldn't even class Loki as a villain, to be honest. I mean, he does bad things. He nearly destroyed an entire planet. But still, I do like Loki. He's got way better, way nicer when you in every single film he goes up in. Okay, so Loki's one of the best, if not the best. Actually, I'm just going to go and say it. He's my favourite villain. He's such a good villain. Malekith, I'm going to put him as an S. I'm joking. F, he's really bad. I prefer him over than this guy, Calicus, so I'm going to put him in front of him. So, yeah, he's just generally bad. He doesn't really do much, just like Calicus. I don't even know how to pronounce his name. Calicus, Calicus, I don't know. Yeah, so Malekith isn't the best of all villains. In fact, he's probably the worst of all villains, apart from Calicus or whatever. I don't know his name. Don't judge me. Anyway, Red Skull from the first Captain America film. I like the Red Skull quite a lot. He was a simple villain, yet a good villain. I feel like he did his character quite well. Let's see. I'm going to put him as a C or B. I would say he's more on the C side, to be honest. Sonny Burke. I wouldn't really even count him as a villain. I mean, yes, he was in Ant-Man and the Wasp. But yes, he stole the case or whatever it was. And there was a building, I think. I don't know. But he's not even that much of a villain, to be honest. He was only put there for some laughs, I think. Since he had his men. He's quite a bad villain. I'm going to put him as an F. I do prefer him more than Malekith and all them. But not by a lot. Okay, Thanos. S. He's in 2 films. He's in Infinity War. And he's in Endgame. Some people say he's the best villain of all time. And I can easily understand why I'm saying that. He might even be my favourite, but actually, you know what, he's not. Loki's my favourite still. But Thanos is one of the best villains. He's so good. He's like the main villain in the MCU. Every single film was leading up to Thanos. Anyway, Ultron. Age of Ultron wasn't that good of a film, in my opinion. You might have liked it, but I wasn't a big fan of it. I liked Ultron as a character, so I'll put him as either a C or B. I'll put him as a B because he was a good villain and I thought he was quite funny and everything. But the film itself wasn't that good. If they made the film a bit better, it probably would have been an A. Oh, by the way, I'm just saying, he just made it a B. Okay, so Vulture. I kind of like this villain if I'm going to be honest. Let's say A. I know you could argue that's a bit high for Vulture, but he's just such a simple villain. He's a man who wants to protect his family, but not protect him in a good way. So, yeah, he's a really good, fun villain. Once again, he's one of them villains where he isn't a bad villain like Ronan, but he is bad, but he's not evil. Let's say that. The guy he killed who worked for him, he actually didn't even mean to kill him. He used the wrong gun. Okay, so Whiplash, terrible villain, straight up F. Don't even need to explain, right? Let's just go back onto the Winter Soldier. Okay, now, as Bucky, he's a good guy. As Winter Soldier, he's a bad guy. I really like him as Bucky, but you don't really see him much as the Winter Soldier. I mean, you talk about it a lot, but you don't really... He doesn't really do much apart from assassinate people and destroy stuff as the Winter Soldier. But he just a lot as Bucky. But since he is technically Bucky, and I like Bucky, but at the same time, he's not Bucky, he's being controlled, I'm going to put him as a B. Okay, Yellow Jacket from the first Ant-Man film. I really like the first Ant-Man. I don't know why some people don't like it. Anyway, I'm going to put him as a C, maybe? Yeah, I think a C will do. He's on the lines of Killmonger, but I prefer him to Killmonger. So, yeah. To be honest, he's quite an evil villain, to be honest. He didn't kill people because he needs something off them. He just does it because he's evil. Anyway, Yon Rog, trash villain. I'm going to put him as an F. Okay. Ronan. I don't know where to put Ronan. From the first Guardians. In my opinion, he's probably one of the most evil in the MCU. Because Thanos just actually thought what he was doing was right. Because the people on his planet, Titan, fun fact, Titan's actually immune of Saturn, they all starved to death. So, yeah. So, Thanos actually meant well, but obviously wasn't very good. But in Endgame, he was just really bad. So, but Ronan is just generally evil. So, let's see. I do like him as a character, but he's not the most interesting of all. Because the first Guardians weren't really concentrating on the villain. They were mainly concentrating on comedy and stuff like that. I wrote D on E. I'm going to put him as an E, actually. I'm not a big fan, I'm sorry. Zemo, he's an interesting character from Civil War. He's just a human as well, but he tricked them into fighting. So the intelligence was what he actually had, like, is amazing. But his character himself isn't that good. Basically, his character is, his family died due to the events what happened in Age of Ultron. So he wants to be revenge on the Avengers. So most of the time in the film, he's just either sad or angry. So I'm just going to put him at a D. He's not my biggest villain. Okay, Justin Hammer. I'm going to put him as an E, and I'll explain why. It was just kind of like a worse version of Mysterio. Yes, you might not know what I mean. It's hard to explain it. Watch Spider-Man Far From Home and you might know what I mean. Anyway, Abomination. Now, I can't really judge that well because I haven't seen the whole Incredible Hulk movie. That's the only Marvel film I haven't seen. But I have seen most of it. Technically, I have seen it, but I don't care. It's a hard one because if you just see the Abomination, he's terrible. But if you included him as in, like, if you include in the human form of him, he's okay. But it's just saying Abomination, so I'm not going to include the human. I'm just going to put F. Anyway, Alexander Pierce. He was a really good villain. He was in Captain America and the Winter Soldier. He worked for Hydra and he had so many men. He nearly killed Nick Fury. I remember watching that film and I was so worried that Nick Fury was going to die. But luckily, he didn't. So, yeah, he was a good villain. He nearly killed Captain America multiple times because he had the Winter Soldier working for him, who's right there. But the Winter Soldier is probably less interesting than Alexander Pierce because the only reason I put the Winter Soldier up so high is because I like Bucky. So I'm going to put him as an A. Anyway, that seems like it's done. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye. By the way, shout out to a Russell, because you see that boy there who's got the arrow pointing to him? He's my friend, so go and subscribe to their channel. They've got, I believe, 50 or 51 subscribers at the minute. So, yeah, go check them out, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.